So major shout out to all you dental entrepreneurs out there. I know 2020 was a tough year, and 2021 is set to make a major rebound. Our team here at Profi 2020 wants to constantly be growing in our knowledge of dentistry and increasing the value that we can provide to you in our scheduled calls, taking your finances into the practice of dentistry and helping you improve your business. As part of that, we had this week Tiffany Trader from Dental A Team just join us for 2 days and train our team more about how dentists think, how your brains work, more about how the business operates, the people, difficulties you might deal with, everything that you go through, so that our team of accounting professionals really doesn't speak accounting, but speaks the language of dentistry using the knowledge of accounting. And it proved to be invaluable. We just wrapped up a accounting managers meeting where we went through several doctors' financials and picked them apart and had Tiffany give us some great insight and tips on what these practices can go back and make changes in their business. So Tiffany, first I just want to say thank you.
Of course.
We were super excited to have you here. We have them come into our office at least once a quarter and train us. So training is an important part for us as a culture, and I do believe that it should be an important part for you. And I know that not enough dentist offices actually invest in their team.
Absolutely.
So Tiffany, would you mind telling us a little bit more about what are the kind of trainings or services that Dental A Team provides? Like, and what do you look for in a dental office to help them grow?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. I think it's a really cool opportunity and just something that we don't see outside of the dental world. So it was really cool. Dental A Team, we are here for teams and doctors in support. We do a lot of training on systems and really just invaluable inefficiencies is what we look for. So inefficiencies in the office that we can streamline, maybe pivot, make small changes to different systems in the practice that you guys are doing every day that could make a huge difference on the back end. So making sure our team members know what they're supposed to be doing, they have their lanes they're working in, and they're clearly defined job descriptions help to create those efficiencies. And then we come in and we're able to really train them how to do their jobs so that we're acquiring more new patients, retaining the patients that we have, and really production and collections, ramping those up, making sure they're in line. So those are probably the 3 key metrics that we look for. And then overhead, which is where you guys come in, and you help a ton. We reviewed all those numbers today, and I have never seen it so clearly defined, honestly and truly, within the dental spectrum. So,
well, it's difficult even for me too, in working with a company and a team of accountants, to get them to think more like the client that they're working for, rather than just thinking about their craft of accounting. So, I mean, literally invaluable in inserting into their minds more about the actual business model of dentistry. I think, so this is our second training with you, and the first one was centered more around EOS, and if you haven't read the book Traction, great book, but that process. And that really was the kind of like our launch point to get ourselves organized in terms of our team, like organizational structure and what's everybody's roles. Is that typically one of the first things that you do when you go into a dental office?
100%. We definitely come in and make sure that not only the EOS model, but just that in some sense there's organization. So making sure we have an organizational chart, that people know who to go to for what, and that they know what their responsibilities are, is hands down the first step. We come in and clean all of that up, clarify those lines, clarify the training that is required, and get them started on it. We have a ton of online training that jumpstarts them within the dental practice, but that kind of model can be duplicated, as you've seen now, into any business itself. So it's really cool to be able to take those systems and utilize them with your business and see that what we're doing for practice management can be useful in other areas. But dental offices really do lack that definition and the clarity, which causes confusion for team members, and that's where we see the inefficiencies. We see the overstressed team members, and then we see the nonprofits. So when a team member says they're stressed, but you feel like they're just not pulling their weight, it's because they actually don't know what they're supposed to be doing.
So, I say all the time that the dental business model and the accounting business model is pretty much identical. I had read the book Traction, and I had maybe even mapped out myself with pen and paper some of the EOS and like the organizational structure, but it did nothing until we actually had somebody as a third party come in and speak to our team. And everything you just said, like the team, I felt after the first training, the team had way more buy-in. And I don't think that if we had done today's training or the last couple days trainings that we would have had the same initial buy-in, because I think that you even gained their trust in terms of helping facilitate all of us kind of connecting as a team better first. I didn't know what to expect, right? And I assume, I believe that most of you listening as doctors, there's this entire huge world of professionals and consultants and everyone saying what they can do, and we just don't know what to expect or in which order. Could you maybe expand on, you first come into an office, it seems like you lay the foundation with that first training, with the organizational structure and everyone's roles and the entire EOS process. And then today we're a little different, I guess, because we wanted to speak specifically in general on what all dental practices do. But do you have any kind of format or any kind of order of trainings that you go through, or could you just tell us like a few of those and how you see them progressing in dental offices?
Yeah, absolutely. We have different models. So we have different models that offices can choose from. We can do the version like what you've done, where we do come in at least twice a year. Sometimes we'll do quarterly trainings, but we also have a lot of online training. So we do a lot through video conferencing with team members, and then we do a lot of coaching calls. So we do have offices that strictly sign up for those. Practices that we do see really exponentially make a huge difference are, we call them our platinums. And they are doing at least 2 visits a year, quarterly trainings online, and then those monthly coaching calls. So with that kind of a platform, we're really able to take them from level 0 and really get them to level 10 by starting out as we did with that EOS model, gaining the trust of the team members and of the practice, kind of weeding out the problems, and then strategically making shifts and changes. Now, if I came in, and I have had practices do this, say, I only want to see her one time. I come in one time, it doesn't really stick, right? We can make a few changes and sometimes they stick, but the accountability isn't there. So really having that full year at least of accountability and training is what makes the changes. It would be like asking to review my P&L and balance sheet with you just one time and expecting to make a drastic change in my savings this year.
So the key word, you took it right out of my mouth, was accountability. And I can see that for us here internally, going through this training and now having our team more well-versed in a lot of these aspects of dentistry, like we told them up front, we want you accountable to deliver value each time that you're talking with a doctor. But one of their value adds is to also reinforce accountability on that doctor, because let's be honest, most of you out there running your practice, you are unchallenged, okay, in your domain. And a lot of times, if all we do is cater to what you want to hear and what you're doing already, you're not going to make any progress. So it requires change to actually make a difference, make an impact, and make progress. So anyway, I think that the accountability part, we committed to a full year, and even not knowing like each additional step and phase, I will tell you, I'll give you my personal testimonial here. Tiffany's been awesome. I'm sure they have more team members that are equally as awesome. Maybe they're not as good as you. But the Dental A team is really easy to work with. They actually over-communicate to us, and we do a poor job of communicating back to them with our emails. That's something we talked about yesterday at length on communication and what works. But I would highly encourage all of you out there, if you're looking to make a difference in your practice, especially with your team, ask yourself, your team expense may be one of your largest expenses, and how well is that team trained? Are you putting them to the best use? Are they fulfilling their God-given potential, okay, and their maximum capacity? They may have never been pushed to that limit. And without somebody from the outside coming in and kind of introducing new ideas and introducing new behaviors and systems, that change never happens. So I can already feel and see the difference even within our company. And she's here training our accountants on dentistry. We're not even being trained on accounting. There's time for that later. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for coming, and we'd love to have you back on sometime in the future. If you ever have any case studies or some stories you'd like to share with us that you feel others could benefit from, we'd love to see more of you. So
thank you, and thank you for what you guys are putting out into the dental world, because it's something that we've been lacking for a really long time, is a company that they can really trust, that I can trust as a consultant. I know that the numbers that are coming from you guys are true and accurate, and I can do something with them. I have a major handfuls. I don't even know how to say it. I have so many offices that are like, I don't know what it means. They don't know how to pull their numbers. Their CPAs and their accountants don't know how to tell them what their numbers mean, and it's stressful. It's stressful on them, and it's stressful on me. So
it's also interesting because there are a couple of clients that we do already work on now mutually, and we get one story from them, and you get a different story, and when you go into their office. And now they have nowhere to hide,
Exactly.
So, we have to merge these worlds of this practice management and the finance to be able to see the full picture. And there has to be accountability on both ends. So anyway, thank you so much for all of your attention. We appreciate you. And I hope that 2021 is going to be a stellar year for everyone out there. If you have not started your planning on that, you're already behind. So if you'd like to speak to one of our accounting managers here to discuss your annual goals, that will be on the agenda going forward. But make sure that you're interested, and that's something that's on your plate. So challenge yourself. What will you do to change in 2021 after a crisis? Reinvest in the business and get after it. So thanks so much.
It's beautiful. Thank you.